These are historic times, not just for the American Legion, but for our entire world. It was just a little more than 6 months ago that I woke up one morning at the Dragon Hill Lodge, located at U.S. Army Garrison in Seoul, South Korea. We woke up to the news that North Korea had just launched an intercontinental ballistic missile test, one of an even greater capacity than it was in the previous test. The world, as well as our son, was understandably very alarmed and concerned. But our stoic military members stationed on that peninsula shrugged it off and just told us it's just another Wednesday in Seoul. And now we're on the verge of another historic summit between the leaders of the United States and North Korea. Just a couple of weeks ago, the two Koreas announced that they consider an official end to the Korean War. Nobody wants peace more than American veterans. But as President Reagan used to tell the Soviets, trust but verify. We have many Korean War veterans in our ranks at the American Legion. We cherish their sacrifice and their service. They and the following generations of veterans who have served and still serve in Korea have made peace there possible. And that is one of the primary missions of our military. Yes, we are warriors, and our skilled service members are the bravest and the toughest that the world has ever seen. But we are also peacekeepers and peacemakers. And as such, the American Legion fully understands that the best way to stop tyranny and aggression is when America has a strong national defense. The best wars are the wars that are never fought. But we still need a mighty military to stop future Hitlers. And we owe those currently serving the best possible equipment and training to ensure not just their success, but also their safety. A recent report in the Military Times examined last summer's collisions involving the U.S. Navy. 17 U.S. sailors died in separate incidents involving the USS John S. McCain and the USS Fitzgerald. Navy leadership has repeatedly cited the lack of readiness, maintenance, and training among ships across the fleet. We understand that military training is inherently dangerous, but we must do everything we can in our power to prevent our Blue Star families from becoming Gold Star families simply because we were not prepared. You've all heard I'm very fond of the saying, family first, and that is my theme for the year. I say it because most veterans themselves prioritize their families. If you take care of my family, they are reasoning that they are taking care of them also. The reverse is also true. Our family members would say, take care of my veteran. Take care of my husband, my wife, my son, our daughter, who is in harm's way defending us. The American Legion has always understood that veterans' benefits are a cost of war. And I am proud that later today, we will present a gift to the Department of Veterans Affairs from our Operation Comfort Warriors. Putting these donations in the hands of deserving veterans and their families is just another way for us to live up to our preamble and to our 4 pillars. We also live up to our tradition and ideals through advocacy. We believe that veterans fought for the red, white, and blue, not for Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They deserve real health care, not just a thank you and a voucher. And that is why we are opposed to sacrificing the best health care system in America at the altar of privatization. Now, the Department of Veterans Affairs Secretary David Shulkin, he has left. He's left his part in leadership, and that is not the only vacuum that needs to be filled. There are currently more than 33,000 job openings at the VA. So not only must the Senate quickly proceed with the important business of confirming a new secretary, but the VA must continuously strive to be worthy of the population that they serve. For several years now, we have been hearing about the centennial, and now our centennial is upon us. In March, we celebrated our 99th birthday, and in August, we will gather at our 100th National Convention. The Centennial Coin Act was passed, and soon these historical collector's items will be available for purchase. Are we living up to the vision of our founding fathers? What I have seen during my visits to your departments and to the communities, I absolutely believe that we are living up to that vision. But, and isn't there always a but, can we do better? We have fewer members than we had last year at this time. And last year, we had fewer members than the year before that. It doesn't seem that long ago when we had almost 3 million members. And now, when we say the 2 million members of the American Legion, we are actually rounding up. We are still the most respected and influential veteran service organization in this country, but we can't simply take it for granted that it will always be that way. Everyone on this committee has been identified as national leaders by your respective departments. If anything, our status gives us an even greater responsibility to build our membership. I was just reviewing some of the membership recruiting tips that are on our national website, and I highly recommend that you not only read them, but that you practice them at every opportunity that you may have. For starters, always be ready with a 2 or a 3-minute elevator pitch on the importance and the benefits of American Legion membership. Download our Legion app to your phones so you'll be able to sign up a member on the spot anywhere that you are. Get some of those door hangers and tailor them for your post, your district, or your department. And keep an ample supply of membership applications, why you should belong, troop support, and this is the American Legion pamphlets. Visit local college campuses, veteran students organizations, military bases, and our Reserve and National Guard. Focus on veterans from all war eras. They are all equally important, and diversity is a strength. Spend some time on mylegion.org and contact the expired members listed that you can find under the heading, Find Members in My Area. Also, pay special attention to media leaders in your communities. Invite them to your post for a free lunch. It can make a world of difference in getting coverage for your local events. It's also not surprising to learn that a high number of our first responders are also eligible for the American Legion. Recognition of these important members of our community can lead to a greater membership. Now, these tips may seem very basic to many of you, but we should never lose sight of the fact that we are a community-based organization. And even though we yield enormous pressure and national influence, we can always benefit from practicing basic recruiting tips and our principles. And then going along with my theme of family first, we have to remember that we must retain our existing members so that they can help continue that bond It is our older members who can pass on the traditions and the principles of our great American Legion to the next generation of Legionnaires who will advance that service into our second century. General MacArthur once said, "Old soldiers never die, they just fade away." The American Legion will not die, nor will we fade away. Neither will our American Legion Auxiliary, our Sons of the American Legion, or our American Legion Riders. So in closing, I would like to pledge family first. Family first today, family first tomorrow, family first always. Thank you, and let's have a great meeting.